So this is a clip from the Rebel media. They're asking Justin Trudeau a question about diversity, feminism, and segregation in Canadian mosques. This is just priceless. He is the WikiLeaks is the guy who tweeted this out. And he points out that he's a terrible fucking speaker, and he actually really is. But he's also just the most mealy-mouthed politician you've ever seen.
Prime Minister, it's about the event you attended yesterday in the morning, and some progressive, what I guess I would call progressive feminists, who very much support your work for gender equality and very admiring of that work, were disappointed that you attended a gender-segregated event. And so I guess my question would be, how do you reconcile your brand as a self-styled feminist Prime Minister with attendance at a gender-segregated event?
That's a fucking great question. And it's, I mean, you know, I'm not actually a big fan of the Rebel. They're a bit too right-leaning for me, and they tend towards hyperbole and sensationalism a bit too much for my liking. But that doesn't necessarily, I'm not trying to condemn them, it's just my personal preference. But that doesn't mean they can't do any good work. And getting this guy to ask that question is fantastic work. And Trudeau's response, Pierre Trudeau's wife's son gives the best response in the world. Listen to this.
The fact is, the values that define Canada include respect and openness towards our full diversity. Indeed,
gender segregation of women and men in mosques because of theocratic commandments. Is that? I mean, it's just they're the values of Canada, aren't they, Justin?
Understanding that diversity is a source of strength, not a source of weakness.
What? How's it go? Pure. I can't do the accent, but pure ideology. Should have got the little identifying ideology thing. Just trot out what you've been indoctrinated into. Diversity is our strength, not a source of weakness. Well, that's great. Now explain the gender segregation.
Is why I think that politicians need to be focused on bringing people together rather than fomenting divisions.
Brilliant. I love it. Politicians should be focused on bringing people together, not fomenting divisions, except for when it comes to gender segregation, which you as a feminist are actually perfectly okay with. Have I got that correct, Justin? Because it really seems like I have.
And that's why I am happy to attend community events in churches, temples, synagogues, mosques.
Even those that absolutely violate the core precepts of your feminist beliefs. It doesn't matter to you. It's not something you'd hold to. I mean, I would have a significant problem if I was asked to attend a gender-segregated event and my wife was being forced to cover up and go in through a side door. And that's just my wife. I would also have a bigger problem if it was one of our politicians, female politicians, who was supposed to go to a mosque in Britain, or Canada, I mean, well, I wouldn't say Canada, in Britain, and they were asked to enter through the side door and sit on a balcony miles back because they were born wrong. I think that's really wrong, Justin. I don't think I'd abide by that. I would just protest by abstaining. You could have done the same.
I'm happy to engage with Canadians where they are and talk about the full range of opportunities that we're working hard to create.
But not for women in mosques. That's a little sacred space, I guess, that you don't want to have any influence over. It's not that they could do some sort of reform in their religion or anything, is it? Maybe some Western values being transmitted back to the Middle East via the migrants who come back and forth might be a good thing. In the end, I mean, we might be self-sacrificing for the greater good here. We might be liberalising the Middle East in 100 years' time. Because, I mean, future historians might point out that, look, it was, you know, these people who then went back to their families in the Middle East with these new ideas who started spreading these. And in certain cities, you start to see a little bit of a renaissance happening before they get their heads chopped off.
Opportunities for growth for the middle class, through investment, through...
What the fuck are you talking about? He's talking about gender segregation in mosques.
Putting more money in the pockets of hardworking families.
You're just reeling this shit off, aren't you? Just got this script memorised. Now, oh, right, got myself onto the script. Basically, you've got like an array of train tracks that all lead to the one track. And you just have to railroad yourself onto one of these tracks, and then you're good. You can just keep going.
Through lowering taxes for the middle class, and the fact is, working hard to highlight that our greatest source of strength remains
diversity. Let me fucking guess. Like I haven't heard this before. What are you fucking on about?
in the different perspectives and backgrounds that come together around shared values here in Canada.
Shared values like keeping women and men separate. That's the shared value you're talking about right now. If that is a shared value for you and Canadians, maybe Canadians might want to elect a different Prime Minister.
For all those who support the idea that we want to engage all communities, would it not be appropriate then to engage them in a forum where, for example, your female local member of parliament or the female managing director of the IMF might have been able to speak to that community? I'm not so sure they would have been able to.
I love whoever's asking this question. This guy is... You get a thumbs up from me. That's a very good question. Very pertinent. And you can tell he's not very comfortable with this.
Female local member of parliament, our extraordinary Minister of the Environment, was standing right beside me at that event.
After she'd come in through the side door because she wasn't allowed to go through the front door like a man. I read that article. I did videos about this in This Week in Stupid.
And I was pleased to be meeting with and greeting and supported by men and women throughout that event.
And it's literally a Canadian value for them to sit there and go, well, we're going to do the Islamic thing to women. Are you okay with that? And you go, of course I am, yeah. Great. Justin, do you mind holding this 13-year-old down while we cut her clit off, please? Sure, no problem. I'll get right on it. Shh, it's okay. Diversity is our strength. Snip.